Hello, this is Andrew Klein with a video tutorial on Autodesk Maya 2009's new UV enhancement features. And with this, we're going to take a look at how to unwrap the front of this human face. And with the demo file, I've already gone ahead and selected a selection of faces along the front. We'll notice there are no UVs created yet in the UV texture editor. And with the head, I already have a blend set up on the surface with a checker pattern hooked into the color slot, and that's going to allow us to see how the UVs work once we project this. So with the faces selected, the head is facing forward along the z-axis. That means I'm going to go to Create UVs, Planar Mapping, and go to the Options box. I'm going to choose Fit Projection to Bounding Box. I'm going to project from the z-axis. And I'm going to make sure I keep my image width and height ratio, and I will choose Project. And we'll notice here when I hit 6 in the viewport that my checker pattern is going to show up. Let's select some UVs and we'll examine this. You'll notice there is some UV stretching pretty prevalent along the right side of the head. We've got some overlap of UVs in the eyes, here inside the nose, and also inside the mouth. We can see with the colorization feature for my UV shells, which I've turned on in the viewport, that the purple areas here, the purple and bluer areas, these are areas where we have overlapping shells, and that's something we're going to want to try and get rid of. Well, to handle this, Maya has actually added a very new feature in 2009. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a selection over the eye, for instance, first. This is an area where we see some overlap. And I'm going to click on the new Smooth UV button. It's sort of like the third button from the right, or third button from the left, I should say, on the top of the UV texture editor. And the Smooth UV tool now opens up a little dialog which has an unfold and a relax function. Unfold is for folding models that, or taking distortion away from models that are still completely wrapped and overlapped and sewn along both edges, as if I was unwrapping this whole head at once. The relax feature allows me to just soften out this distortion in a very easy way. And if I click with my left mouse button on relax and hold that down and slide it to the right, you'll notice I can continuously relax this until it has become, really essentially no overlapping in that shell. And let's continue this again. I'm just going to drag. I still have the Smooth UV tool selected. Just going to drag a selection over the next eye, and I can continue to just relax this out step by step. Let's turn the shading on. You'll see all of that purple now having disappeared, except for the mouth. And we'll watch here as that eradicates itself as I relax. So a really nice tool to add to your workflow, a very easy way to get some distortion-free work here. And I think the last thing we're noticing is that since I've now opened up this mouth, I've distorted the shape of the lips a little bit. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and grab some UVs around those lips. And once I have an even selection there, I'm going to use a recent addition, not new to Maya 2009, but a recent addition to the UV tool workflow. And with these UVs selected, I'm going to go to Tool in the UV texture editor, Tool, UV Lattice Tool. And this gives me a grid which I can use to help stretch and deform the UVs. Well, I think the sort of like 2x2 box that I have here isn't enough, so I'm going to go into the Options box for that. And let's set it as, let's say, 5x5. That's going to give me a much denser grid here. And I'm going to use this to now pull these points up and down to help push some of this back towards the center. And what I'm trying to do as well is sort of even out this grid flow that we see up above. Trying to keep it symmetrical if I can. And here we we go. And this returns more towards a square format. I think I have this correct. And there we go. That line now evens out. And looking pretty good across the center of the face, although I've got some issues along the side still. And what I'll do actually is I'm going to use that same UV lattice tool to essentially help me unfold the edge. But here with the UV lattice, let me just return this to being 2 by 2. That'll make this one easier to deal with. And now I can come in and pull out some of these edges, trying to get this into more of a square shape along the side. Just giving a little bit more room to each face as we go. And that looks a lot better than it did a second ago. Let's grab some of this on the other side and we'll do the exact same thing. And there we go. Really starting to take away some of that distortion here. And again, if I wanted to come back in, I could take a small selection of these with the Smooth UV tool and see what happens if I relax it a little bit. It can help smooth out some of that distortion that you create. So that is essentially the new workflow with Maya 2009 for unwrapping UVs, and works great for organic unwrapping like we see here. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. For more, please take a look at andrewklein.net. Thank you.